Bad Intentions Boxing. Absolutely delighted to be joined by Dave Allen. Dave, how are you keeping, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. I'm good, thank you.
Listen, great to see you. Let's jump straight into it. Obviously, there was a video that had come out last week. I think you and Eddie Hearn, you'd had quite an honest and frank discussion in front of the camera. Where does Dave Allen go from here?
Well, I'm boxing October 23rd in Sheffield. That's a definite date. Possibly boxing October 1st in London as well. I'll then box November and I'll box December. These fights will all be 4 and 6 rounds against foreign opposition. The last fella, the Italian fella, he didn't look much, but he was tough. More of the same, just getting slightly better as I go along. And then spring next year, hopefully Babic, or hopefully British title shot, one or the other. So yeah, I'm not interested in anything else, but Babic for the British title.
So Babic, you know, that's quite a tough fight essentially for anybody out there to pick. But obviously you back yourself in that to say that you want to have that. Why Babic or why the British title?
Well, the 5 fights leading up to that is what I need to get my eye in. You know, I just need 5. I think I need 5 fights. Get the confidence back. Put the work in the gym alongside them 5 fights, and I think I beat Babic. I think I'm bigger. I think I'm stronger. I think I'm better at everything really. The only thing that's on me is he's very busy. He's a busy fighter. He's got a high work rate, something which I've struggled with in the past. So I think it's a 50-50 based on that I'm bigger and I think the better boxer, but his tenacity and work rate and possibly his hungry. You know, he's hungry as well. So I think that kind of levels the scales up a little bit. So we'll see. It'll be a big fight, and I think everyone will like to see it. So why not?
You know, you're not a stranger to somebody that's been involved in big fights. I think we saw it on the lead up, you know, sort of 2018. You had, let's call it, that period of time where, you know, everybody was behind you. You're a very likeable person by the British media and the British boxing fans as well. Another thing to touch on, that a lot of people ask, you know, and I think it's no secret, you've been somebody that's openly admitted that you've suffered with mental health issues. And obviously hand in hand with boxing, potentially that's why you've just said that you've taken the time away, get the confidence to come back and go again. Mentally, where do you feel you are at the moment?
I don't think I've ever been any better, to be honest. But for the first time probably in my life, my personal life is in a good place. You know, all through my 20s and that, I didn't lead the life of a professional boxer. You know, I was here, there and everywhere. I was busy, I was doing all sorts of stuff I shouldn't be doing. But only now I'm in this nice, settled, steady relationship. I'm a trainer of fighters. You know, I don't have kids yet, but like they're like my kids. I've got to be home. I've got to be up here to train myself before I train them. I've got to be at the amateur boxing club every night at 5:30. So I've got a structure and a routine now, and I stick to it. And I've got to actually train. I've got to actually eat well. I've got to do all this stuff because I've got a group of fighters that now rely on me. Obviously I've got a missus, I'm nearly 30, I have kids, and I realise now it's alright, I can live with next to nothing and have a good time, but I don't think my kids will be able to, so obviously it's got to give me a kick up the arse. And I never used to think about tomorrow. I'd always think about today, and I always have a good time. But now, you know, I'm planning 6 months ahead, I'm planning 5 years, 10 years ahead, and I think I've just matured in some ways, which I'm still mature in others, but I've matured, I think.
Definitely, you know, you sound like a matured man that's standing there giving across that fantastic words and everything that's come across with that. I think the concern that people have had, you know, somebody like yourself, you always like to be involved in wars. As a heavyweight, being involved in that many fights, that surely physically and mentally must take its toll as well. What's the long-term game plan? So obviously we spoke about Babic, we spoke about the potential of Joe Joyce. You've also just mentioned there that you're training other fighters. Where is that career path, and where do we finally see that transition from one to the other?
Well, I think it's funny because people talk about me and like, it's like, go and watch Derek Chisora's last 15 years, go watch Dylan White fights. Like, they're having harder fights than me at the top level, back to back. And congratulations to them, and I'm amazed when I watch them. People talk about me like I've had the same kind of fights as them. I've had a few hard fights, but do you know what I mean? Compared to them, not really. So I feel alright. The time off was great for me, and it wasn't just. We retired in November for like 7 months, but it weren't just that. Before that, I'd not boxed for 10 months. Before that, I'd not boxed for 9 months. So I've not done much sparring really, so I think I'm actually quite fresh. I had 10 amateur fights. The other fights I was 18 and a half. So the plan is win the British title or beat Alan Babic, preferably both. But I'd settle for one or the other. So I'd settle for one or the other, to be honest. But I'm not interested in boxing for the English title. I'm not interested in boxing for these bollocks, IBF, Intercontinental. I mean, fuck all. I can't beat Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. So why do I want to win an IBF Intercontinental? I don't want to have my mantelpiece because it don't mean anything. The British title on the mantelpiece, fantastic. Winning the Alan Babic fight sets me up for life, sets my family up for life. They're the only two things I care about. The British title and mantelpiece, or being financially secure forever. All the other stuff means nothing to me. So when they say, do you want to box him or him or him? I say, what for? Do you know?
So it's very much in terms of looking at that career plan, and I think you've just explained it there. Listen, Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure standing and talking to you. I wish you the best of 2021, and I'm really looking forward personally myself to see you back out as many other people are.
Thank you very much.
You've been a pleasure. Thank you.